What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Quadcast, the show where we get real, get raw, and get loud about mental health, substance use, and the fight to take our lives back.
Each episode, we're cutting through the stigma, dropping knowledge, sharing stories, and bringing the heat with guests who have lived it and aren't afraid to talk about it.
So turn it up, lock in, and let's break barriers, spark change, and build a community that refuses to stay silent. You're tuned into the Quadcast, and let's get into it.
You can find us on Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, or email us. The Quadcast is always looking for new guests, whether you're individuals that have experienced it, you're in law enforcement, treatment programs, nurses, doctors, or anyone that just has something to say. Come share your story with us on mental health or substance abuse.
Warning, there's cussing in this video. If you don't like swear words, well, you're
watching the wrong damn show.
Okay.
Yeah, we were talking about the dumbass decisions we make because we try to,
Damn women.
Yeah, and you know what, and I always have a heart to heart with the women. I say, listen, take it from somebody who's seen it a million times. You're beautiful. You have a huge heart. You care about people. You're going to wind up with an ain't shit dude who's going to take advantage of you, and he's going to be pulling on the back of your shirt at Little General as you're buying his cigarettes so he can go back to playing video games.
You know what immediately just popped into my mind? Everybody's sharing the memes of the guy that the ain't shit dude standing behind their female at the checkout counter, holding her from behind.
It burns me up. And I've talked to some of those women, and one of them, she actually worked at the gas station, and I saw her one day buying a. And I said, well, is that your man there? She's like, well, it's my baby daddy. I'm like, I'm going to tell you what I tell my daughter. Aim higher. It just, but those guys are those, and most of the time they're a narcissistic kind of guy.
Right.
And they will tell you how terrible you are so they can keep you out of yourself.
Absolutely.
And I tell them all the time.
That's the game.
Yeah. And I'm like, please don't fall for it because that's what's going to happen.
Because if he ain't got you, he's going to be out on the street.
Yeah, he needs you. And when they're tugging at the back of their shirt, when they're getting their cigarettes, man. There's something about that. I think as a man and as a dad both, where I'm just like, go. Like
you ain't nothing but a child.
No. And you look like the other meme where they're holding the baby, but it's like the big giant baby.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's oh my.
Yeah. It's the same thing. It's same shit, different day.
And I warn a lot of people like that because a lot of the women who will come to treatment, I'm like, are you going back home to him? Mm-hmm. Because he still expects you to do all those things.
Because you run straight back into it and you end up, you can't break the cycle that way.
Well, that's like we preach people, places, and things. And I always say it's cliche and the reason things are cliches is because they're true.
Right.
If you go around the same people, you do around the same places, the same thing, you're not going to last. I moved from Anstead to Fayetteville. It's only a 10-mile difference.
Right.
World of change for me.
Two totally different places.
Yeah. And I didn't see.
And probably a lot of these people ain't ever been to Anstead. But it's two totally different places.
Oh,
you've got to get out of that normal.
And just in general, when you realize that there's a whole big, not only just state, there's a whole big country, there's a whole big everything out here. And when you realize that you can be a part of all that rather than laid up in a trap house. And you just want to look at people and be like, okay, you're in your 20s. When you're 50, do you still want to be in this trap house? Because you're going to be, unless you make a decision now to change your life.
Back to the house of 50-year-old guys hanging out, partying all the time.
Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's...
and we never really came up with a solution for that because me and Sean were kicking that around. And they don't want to change.
They don't. I mean, at that point, change would take them till death.
Yeah.
So... what's the point in changing at that point in their minds? That's probably what I would be thinking. What's the point in changing now? I'm set in my ways and I've made this decision and we're just going to ride it on out to the end.
I had a guy one time, and this is when I was with Lead, so I could be a little more cop and a little less love.
Mm-hmm.
They brought him over.
You just wanted to be a cop.
I mean, it was still part of it. But this dude was like, he says his name. He's like, man, you know what I'm about? Fast cars, fast women. I went, dude, shut the fuck up.
That's a Rascal Flatts song, man.
I said, you have no car. You have no license. You're living in the woods, and you have on a damn rope for a belt right now. Like, here's the reality check. And I tell you what, he got in the car and went to treatment because I was like, somebody just need to tell you all those things that you think you are. My brother, you got a rope on for a belt. You got no shoes on. Like,
sometimes that's the realization people need.
I'm about it, man. That's like
coddling has got us nowhere.
Well, if you baby him, you'll bury him.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's where I get that nickname of the Uncle Dave from, because if you're lucky in his life, you'll have an uncle, a good uncle that will help you try to avoid an ass kicking from your old man while at the same time putting some knowledge on you.
Right.
And like, that's what I tell these guys. I'm like, I love you, but I'm going to shoot you 1,000% straight. And that tough love, I think it works so much better. And you can give tough love without being a prick.
Absolutely.
It's like, here are the facts, and his facts were those. And I had a girl one time that I took up to treatment, and was being belligerent, like nonstop, and like what she didn't realize was I'd already set up, and on my free time had met her mom in Beckley and was driving all the way to the facility with all of her belongings. So she's out front the whole time, just belligerent, blah blah blah. And I pull in, and I'm like, hey, what's going on here? She's like, nobody's trying to help me. I was like, okay. What if I told you I just drove 3 hours and that's all your stuff? And also, I said, here's where we are just realistically. If you leave here, they're going to issue a warrant.
Right.
If you stay here, we can try to help you save your life. One of the two, make the decision. These people have a job to do, and it's not going to be babysitting you.
Right.
Went to treatment. She completed treatment. But I remember those therapists were like, we're not allowed to say stuff like that. I'm like, well, good thing you got an Uncle Dave around.
Well,
like,
and I think that's the issue that we're having is there are so many restrictions on work in these facilities that they can't actually treat.
They get sued.
Yeah,
we're a lawsuit.
We're such a lawsuit happy country now that if you tie your shoes wrong, I can sue you for it.
And think about all the things that affects, even down to we cancel school because there might be snow. Why do we do that? Well, because parents are going to sue if somebody gets hurt if there is a snow. Like, I rode to school with chains on. Like, on the bus, there was chains on the bus. There was no such thing as like we're not going to cancel school.
I was expecting uphill both ways.
I mean, yeah, I'm almost that age. At 45, I was uphill most of the time both ways.
There was a downhill portion.
There was. I coming back down into town. There was a little downhill, and that was worse because you go faster and those chains would rumble harder. But it's like we weren't as lawsuit happy back then,
right? And I mean, hell, growing up, I mean, a lawsuit was few and far between. Yeah, but now, hell, you say one wrong thing about somebody, and they're either getting a protective order out on you or a lawsuit.
Ever since the guy got $1 million for spilling the hot coffee on his crotch at McDonald's, that is when it was like everybody started realizing we can get paid.
Or the woman that sued, what was it, Velveeta over the instructions on the back of the microwave macaroni cups.
Gosh. I hadn't even heard about that one.
Oh my! They went around. It was shit. It was probably a year or two ago when it happened.
That hurt my head.
The directions were wrong. I don't know what. It was something about the directions or how it said that you. I don't know. The steps were wrong, and she ended up suing Velveeta or whoever makes the macaroni cups.
But she put too much water in. I mean, like, there's really only 1 or 2 steps there. Like,
it ain't that hard. I mean, every macaroni cup I've ever read was the same.
Yeah, but it all go, and like even that, all that, everything goes back to people trying to make an easy buck, and people, like people are lazy. People want to act. They want They want people to do everything for them.
They want, and can't give.
And that's amen. And that's what I tell people all the time. I was talking to the lady from the airlift wing yesterday, and I helped them a lot with the military and with their people getting into treatment and stuff.
Okay.
And we were talking about how we're always like, she's one like therapist for 1,100 people.
Holy shit.
I said, I think in the military y'all call that broken arrow, right? Like when you're overran.
Yeah.
I said, and she was like, so what do I do when I need somebody? That's why, I was like, hey, I'm the same way. I spend my life putting out fires.
Yeah.
And it's like when you're always that fire putter outer, the reason people like burn out is because they start pouring from that empty cup, and you're like, uh-oh. And that's a dangerous spot to be in.
Absolutely. It's the same. I mean, it's the same problem with the first responder world.
Oh man, like
give, but you ain't got nothing coming back in because you are that person that puts out the fires, or you are that person that shows up on those bad days. Yeah. But there's nobody there for you when it goes back to the failed leadership thing. There's nobody there for you when you need it.
It's total failed leadership, and I look at the paramedics, EMTs, and I grew up with some amazing guys like Joel Feltner, Chris Eads, those guys who Joel does amazing things. I think they both Chris works for Air Evac, like they've really they've done amazing things, but I watched them come up to the ranks. But you see them now, and you see these positions where the leadership, it's almost like we're talking, almost like a heads in beds. They want somebody in uniform. They don't care who it is.
It doesn't matter.
And
they go. So, and another thing I've seen, it might have been yesterday, this morning. I can't remember. But damn it, I done lost my train of thought. Oh, experience and time of service, or years of service, I think is how it was worded. Years of service doesn't mean you're experienced to be in those positions.
No.
Because you can sit at a desk just as long as I can be out there on the front line, putting in the work, doing the tasks. You have no idea what it's like out on the truck. Just like I have no idea what it's like to be behind the desk.
Right.
But guaranteed, the guy behind the desk doesn't need the help that the person out there putting the fires out does.
Man, and I work a lot with Sean and Vanessa Riley. They do Armor Up WV.
Okay, I'm familiar.
Yeah, Sean and Vanessa, man, that's their passion, right? And it's sad. It is sad that we got people who are afraid to ask for help when they're paramedics, firemen, EMTs, even law enforcement. They're scared to ask for help because they're afraid of their job.
Yeah.
And
because they love their job.
They love their job. They love helping people. And the last thing they want to do is get criticized and get, ostracized, maybe even get terminated.
Tax the system of where it's already shorthanded.
Yeah, they put themselves like way out there dead last.
Yeah.
And man, I've been on a few of those calls and you listen to them talk, and it'll give you chills because you're like, this is this whole person's identity.
Yeah.
And if they ask for help, they're in fear that they're going to lose their identity. I understand that. But if the leadership would, make mental health a priority, I've met with this new company, was it West Virginia Lifeline Ambulance, and I think they're based in Raleigh County, Fayette County,
okay,
and it's a startup, and they have a really big emphasis on the mental health, physical health of their employees. They've done a lot of stuff with me already as far as like addiction and stuff. And I think it was because they were employed by the big companies that didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're going to fix it. And they kind of all got together and it's like, let's do it. And it's like, I think they're bringing on their second and third truck. And what's cool is with me is now I can call them and help get people transported to treatment. So I can help them grow their company while they're helping me get people to treatment. Right. and they've
And
been
growing your outreach.
Yeah, it's like it's hand in hand, and that's what I love about my job. When I find good people like that, I'm like I mean they'll be like, I'm so glad I met you. I'm like, you might not be because I'm gonna burn your phone up.
Right.
But they've been like they really have. They then from the start they said their emphasis was treating their people right with respect and making sure they had the mental health that they needed. So,
and that's the aspect that's come out of touch is when we go back to the very beginning of this conversation, it's a mental health crisis.
It is 100.
That's driving 98% of the issue.
And like when we talk about that, I'm interested to see, and this will ruffle some feathers. I'm interested to see more of the studies that RFK Jr. is doing with the food, because
as soon as you said RFK, I think we're getting ready to get shut off the app here.
Sorry, but like I'm fascinated by looking at all the chemicals that have been added, and you look at it and comparatively to the things that are in Europe in the food.
Yeah.
And okay, now you see all our mortality rates and all these things are so much going the wrong way. And then you look at these other countries who our people make their products, they just don't put all this nasty stuff in them. There's something to that. And I think a lot of that is going to play into the mental health aspect of it. I think it's messing with the hormones, it's messing with all those things.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, and it's like it's a whole like this is not just something like, yes, absolutely we can blame Purdue Pharma and all those people for pouring all this stuff in here, but we also have to blame the fact that we let our food be made into God knows whatever it was. And we talked about the video games, we talked about lazy parents. There's a whole big giant pot of people that can take the blame.
That's because it's a broken system. It's not just one broken aspect of the system. It's a broken system completely.
Thing. And it's like you have this whole big group of people that can take blame, but you know what? Very few of us will step up and take the challenge to make it better.
Absolutely.
Because everybody wants to quarterback it.
The days of stepping up are over.
Yeah.
The generations of stepping up is over. And I was telling that to somebody the other day. Like, my generation is about the last generation that ever offers to step up. So if we don't begin to fix it, who's going to? Because if not, we're just going to live in the same cycle.
How old are you?
Getting ready to turn 30 in February.
I turned 45 last week. And
that's only 15 years.
But it's, and what I do, I was raised by, a Vietnam era man.
Sure.
And my grandpa's buddy, hardcore. And I'm so thankful I grew up that way.
Right.
And I always say that it's people my age. We are the ones that were the first to be like, oh, well, you know what? It's more convenient to stick Johnny in front of a video game. It's more convenient.
So it's your fault.
Yeah. It's not mine. You know what? I'm the guy that's like,
you'd already told me there's no screens.
There's no screens in my house. Like that's a hard no. And now, believe it or not, that's actually a diagnosis that is in the medical journals and stuff now in the ASAM, addiction to video games. And they're going to have to start treating kids for addiction to video games.
And that kind of goes hand in hand with the amount of content creators that are out there. We have an app that streams nothing but somebody sitting there playing video games and influencing however many hundreds of thousands followers they've got. It's enabling. It goes back to enabling. Like they see that they can make a living doing this, so this is what we're going to do. But then what happens when that falls away? They have nothing to go to.
Gary Brecka, you ever heard of Gary Brecka? He's the guy. He helped Dana White get back into shape. He was a mortality expert for the insurance companies, where basically for many years he could take your blood and your DNA and predict your mortality within 3 months.
Really?
I mean, he did this for years, and now he's kind of doing it.
Scary.
Yeah, and he does it though to help people and he's not selling stuff, so he's just legit wanting to help.
Right.
That's where I got my ice bath idea. But he said something that was like, it was eye opening for me. He even calls himself a biohacker because he knows the things that age you and the things that
Mm-hmm.
And he said, getting old, aging, is our pursuit of trying to constantly be more comfortable. We're always trying to figure out the most comfortable, convenient way. He said, like, there was a huge number, like 80 whatever % of people over the age of 30 will never sprint ever again. Like, so what every week now I got to get one sprint in. And it's like, we quit trying.
Don't look at me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I ain't going after a friend nowhere.
I would. I mean, I'll challenge you, but
I mean, I'd give it one hell of a shot. But
I know you would. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know you would. But it's like if you keep always trying to constantly be comfortable, you're not growing, because growth comes out of doing something different.
Sure.
And you've got to do stuff different. And I think aging and like so many of the things we got going on with our health and with our mental health is the fact that we just sit around all day.
Sure.
And we've let that be the norm. And like my wife will tell you, like, I can sit down like this and talk all day. If we weren't talking, we just had a screen. That's why I was like, no, dude, I'm coming over. Like, because I will, like, I can't. I'll get on dude, I get on the Zoom meetings, and within 5 minutes, what are we talking about here? And
I had a joint call yesterday morning while I was, I was trying to get my stuff set up. My mom was here, and I muted the call because they were rambling about something that I had no idea what they had been involved in. I muted the call. I zoned out. Mom asked me about something that she heard off the call yesterday. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I heard nothing about that. Like, it's probably because I muted and zoned out and I was working on something more taxing to me, but I didn't hear that shit.
No.
But it didn't involve me, and I could care less about what it was because I
tell people all the time, like, and I'll do, like, I'm on my phone a lot, and it's like, I'll tell my wife all the time, I'm like, not being rude work, and she's like, I know, like, but I feel like I'm not, like, I need to say that because my kids don't think, oh, well, he's just like I'm like, no,
right,
like working, but
light up sign.
Like, yeah, I actually got one in my garage. It says on air.
On
yeah, it's, but.
They put it on a tripod and carry it around
on there all time. But like I'm lucky though, like as far as that stuff goes too, because like my wife, like she could absolutely, like, I have no worries. She knows I work a lot. She knows that my job is always having to be engaged and positive, and I know that so many women would be insecure about it. And my wife is like the opposite. She's like,
but you're kind of in the same role though. Like she has a job that takes detail and effort and time away from the family.
Yeah,
you have the same job, but you also involve your kids with it too.
I love it. That's the best part of it, man.
But that's something that'll benefit them later in life too, because they can look back and be like, shit, mom and dad really did care.
Yeah.
And mom and dad really did want us to be involved.
I really thought my daughter would be the first to be like, man, I think I could do this job someday. It was a little guy. He was like,
really?
He was like, so you get to like hang out with new people? I said, a lot, buddy. It's what I do.
He's a people guy.
Yeah. He's like, that would be fun. Do you make a lot of money? I said, we're all right. And he said, maybe I'll do that. And I'm like, I thought Livia would do that. No, little guy said he's about it.
What does she want to do?
Oh man, she
don't know yet.
Animals, something about animals, and then like.
Why does everybody want to go to vet school?
She's like, I'm gonna go to Virginia Tech, and she tell me about their great program. Yep. I'm like, it's okay, it's great, but like, just remember you're 14, and I didn't know what I wanted to do until I was 42.
I still haven't figured it out.
Yeah, well, I think this is a hell of a start.
I went from gunsmithing. I went from law enforcement to dog training, to private service of process, to just finish gunsmith school, and now podcasting. Like, I haven't figured it out yet.
That is the good thing about life, You're never locked in unless you lock yourself in. Right?
I set out every day to try something new.
Yeah, and that's how you grow, right? And that's what I tell people even in treatment. I'm like, if you're comfortable, like, well, they'll say like, I want to go back to where I was at.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? Well, I'm comfortable there. That's a problem.
What did it give you that you could benefit from now? Nothing.
Let's go somewhere. I'm like, have you ever been to the Northern Panhandle? They're like, no. I'm like, let's give it a shot.
Sure.
Like, why not? Like,
It's
learn.
a totally different area.
Dude, West Virginia is 5 states.
Absolutely.
The Panhandle, like, both of them are 2 different places. And, like, you got that Morgantown, Fairmont pocket up there, right?
Got the armpit there.
Yeah, that's, Then over here, around, like, Tucker, Randolph, and Pendleton, which I love, probably some of my favorite because of, like, Seneca Rocks.
Sure, yeah.
And, like, I used to think that they were bougie and they had all the resources.
Absolutely not.
They have no resources.
No.
None. So I go up there quite a bit, too. And Elkins is, like, my second home. I love Elkins. Until this time of year, and I call it Alaska County, and I refuse to go.
Yeah, most of the state troopers here would probably agree with you.
Yeah. But then you have, you got the gorge,
mm-hmm.
Then you have the coal fields.
Yeah.
And, like, every piece of that.
And then you get Mercer County.
Mercer is like, Mercer, like, depending on what day of the week. And
Mercer's like Chicago.
Sometimes, dude.
Mercer's crazy.
But, I will say this, like, for, like, all the traveling I do in West Virginia, and even when it comes down to, like, and I'm air quoting, even, like, the tweaker, like, people in West Virginia, most 99% of the time, if they can help you, if you break down and there's a tweaker around, guess what? You're going to be okay.
That some bitch will fix it.
It's going to fix it for you. People here are, like, they're kind. And, like, there's some people, they're set in their ways. They're never going to change. And I tell my people, don't waste your time trying to change their mind.
Yeah.
They're not going to change their mind.
Absolutely.
And that's their right to not, But them having their mind set up that all this is wrong does not change how I'm going to go about my job. And it really is not going to change how many lives I can touch.
Right.
That's just their loss.
Absolutely.
And I think we get hung up on that so much. It's like, oh my gosh, we got to go change that guy's mind. No, like, he's not going to change my mind. I'm not changing his mind because it's a right fight. Nobody's winning.
No.
If the only thing we can do is doing what we're doing now, educate people, put it out there. And I know for a fact that more people are with this movement of recovery than are against it. Like, I've seen it.
I would agree with that.
It's became, and like in the past 5 years, now 5 years ago, when I said, why don't we try to put people in treatment rather than jail? You thought I had 3 heads, man. People looked at me like I was an idiot. And it was like I had to prove it to them. And, like, one by one, you start proving it.
But what part of that was politically driven?
The part that was politically driven was there were county commissioners who did not want to look, and I'm air quoting, soft on crime. But then the counter to that was, you're saving money on your jail bill.
Right.
So, and, like, you're not being soft on crime if you, like, a lot of places, like, take Raleigh County, for example. I think they still do this. Every week they would have what was called a jail bill meeting.
Okay.
You'd bring in the prosecutors, you'd bring in the judge, you'd bring in, like, lawyers, and I would go over there. That's when I worked for FMRS. They would go through the list of people that Raleigh County had in jail that week. And they would say, okay, this guy's got an addiction, this guy's addiction. Let's try to get these guys in treatment. We're not going to mandate it. Let's see if we can get them out of jail, get them into treatment.
Okay.
And they seen, I can't remember, like the first year, I think they saved almost $6 million or something. Yeah, it was a big
Holy
number.
Shit.
Just by going through that.
I would have never put $6 million on it.
It's a huge numbers, right? But when you're talking about taking that, however many dollars it was, $40,000 a year or whatever per inmate, something like that.
Well, I'm sure it's stupid.
And so you take all those numbers and put them together, like, wow. And that's all money that's saved because you don't have to pay the lawyers anymore. They're not on all that. It's a huge number. Great idea. So you sell,
Don't need as many public defenders.
Yeah, like I call them, most of them public pretenders. I probably shouldn't say that out loud. Hey, man, I've met a few that are really good. I met a few that was good. Scott Stanton, let's shout out. He retired. My buddy Scott Stanton, that dude. You talk about somebody who was a public defender who fought for his people. He was one, man. I hated to see him disappear, but like, man, a lot of them. It's so sad when you see them show up and they've already got their mind made up of. Sure. Like I remember, like the first time I went into magistrate court, being a young, bright-eyed little law enforcement man, I'm like, all right, we're going to court. And you walk in and you see the prosecutor and the public defender laughing and having coffee. And I'm thinking, no, like in the movies, you guys don't like each other, man.
In the movies.
Yeah. And like,
but they're working hand in hand.
Yeah. And so you get there and they're like, hey, we've already got this. He's going to plead. You're good. You can go home. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You ever been to DMV court?
Oh, Lord, don't. I don't
think anybody likes anybody at a DMV hearing.
I probably got one coming up because I probably really do. But
you have fun with that.
I'm like, you know what? I'll literally wait to the very end of this and go in and just. I would rather pay a reinstatement fee for my license.
Dude,
I got
hearings are so bad.
I got a ticket and I had an officer say, "I got you. I'll take care of it." Cool. Didn't think anything else of it. I didn't know this officer was going through some bad stuff in their life, right? And like I'm talking like addiction, bad stuff.
Really?
Didn't know. And
sure.
I get a letter from the DMV.
Oh damn!
Like your license is suspended. I'm like, whoa, what now?
But why?
I'm like, I call and they're like, hey man, I'm sorry. Like I'm really going through it. And instead of me going off about it, I'm like, how can I help you?
Right.
Like, you tell me all this bad shit. How can I help you? And then I hung up, and my wife's like, but you still don't have a license. I'm like, no.
You still can't drive legally in the state.
I almost messed with Sean yesterday because he don't know. When I was sitting there talking to him, I started to go, hey, dude, run my license real quick. Because, he's such a by-the-book guy. He might have wrote me another ticket. Like, I didn't want to. I was tempted to do it just to see that look on his face.
That'd be a bad spot to put somebody in there.
And like I was like, because I know Sean, he'd be like, well, legally he should not be driving. I was like, I'm not going to put him in that spot, man.
Yeah, that'd be kind of shitty.
But and like the overall this thing, man, is like it's moving in the right direction, and a lot of people try to nail me down on, is it a disease? I say, listen, if you want to call it that, more than fine. I really look at it as a mental health crisis. It's a mental health crisis. We're trying to change the way we feel. Why are we trying to change the way we feel? That's the big question, And
so, touching on that, like when I first started this out, only 5 episodes ago, I had that as a question that I wanted to ask everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I changed my mind because through thinking of self-reflection and scenarios, I came out with a different opinion because I don't think you can label it as one or the other.
Can't do it, man. No.
You can't. And, just the realization of some of the people that I've talked to on these recordings, you can't label it as one or the other because everybody's different. Everybody goes through different things. And there are different things that lead up to, it may be the same story, but there's different things that lead up to addiction.
And the thing too, and like we were talking about earlier, why does it have to be labeled?
Right.
Who says it has to be labeled? Like I label it as you're going through some bad stuff and we got to figure out a way to help you.
Exactly. I mean, if you're out here trying to solve the problem, the label doesn't matter.
No.
Because the only thing that matters is the progress towards recovery.
I think the label, what it does, and it's kind of like a media thing. The label opens the door for an argument, and that separates us instead of trying to fix the problem.
Well, that and a label only gives it a financial tie.
Oh,
because if you label it as a disease, all these drug companies are out here looking for a way to.
Yeah, the same companies that pour the opioids in are trying to pour in their, the cure.
But if that's the case, why can't we solve or cure cancer? Because we could, but we're never going to because of the money aspect.
And that's just.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Quadcast.
Remember, breaking stigma doesn't stop when the episode ends. We're building a movement, and you're a part of it. Stay strong, stay aware, and stay connected.
And this is the Quadcast, signing out.